What's up, everybody?
Hey,
welcome to
guys.
Word on the Street, episode 94, brought to you by the Beta Consulting Group. What's up, Street Crew? We got Rhonda in the house from Phoenix. What's up? How are you?
Doing great. Excited to be here with you all this week. Missed you last week, so.
Can you guys hear any music or no?
Oh, yes.
You can hear it?
I hear it. Yeah, it's in the background. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I got the music on today. We got the Super Bowl 56 hype track going right now. It's actually a playlist that Apple Music has out, which is pretty sick. So
Nice.
I'm pretty excited about that. Raquel, what's up? Twice in one day. I'm a lucky man.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How is everyone today? Happy Friday.
That's right. We made it to Friday. Very excited about that. Robert, what's up, brother?
Speedy.
It's weird not being in the same room with you. I got to admit, it's weird, right? I mean, I almost felt like I should drive to Chicago today just to make this happen, which we should do.
We should do.
We should definitely do that. We got a heck of a show today. There's a lot going on. We get some of the street crew popping in here as we go along, so we'll get them in as well. Man, lots to talk about. First of all, I got to tell you guys, I'm super excited about this. So last week we had Max Shukart, little Max, entrepreneur Max, supply chain bingo game. His dad, Zach. It was really great. If you didn't get to watch that episode, make sure you watch it on the Word on the Street YouTube channel or on LinkedIn Live. But I got to tell you, they came through. So we've got the promotion code now for supply chain bingo game. So check this out. If you go to supplychainbingo.com, put in the promo code WATTS10, you get 15% off. They went over and above. I can't even believe they did that. But make sure you pick up your copy of Supply Chain Bingo. You'll get 3 bingo boards with it. So if you need more than that, buy 2 or 3. But put in the promo code WATTS10 and get 15% off. So pretty excited about that. Street Crew's coming in. We got Nico Brown popping in. We got Coleman Ruffin, and then new job, who dis? I love it. Kyle McNaught.
What up?
Very good. What up? I was just saying that our boy Max Shukart came through with a promo code for Word on the Street, 15% off if you put in WATTS10 at supplychainbingo.com at checkout. So very excited about that. Hope that he gets some nice sales coming his way, which is great. Nico, what's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. I'm loving it because today I've got the Super Bowl 56 halftime mix track going. So pretty exciting. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. Also, we had some pretty exciting stuff happen this last weekend. Had a phenomenal, basically 4-day weekend. I mean, good night. It was crazy. I got there Thursday. The fun started on Friday. We got a lot to talk about with this week in pictures to show off a few things going on there. And then, of course, we had the Mastermind weekend. But I want to share this with you guys real quick. I want you guys to see this. So hang on. I got to show this to you. This was the highlight of the weekend. I'm glad that Bain is here. Y'all check this out. Check this out.
Tell me again what's going on.
So I'm in Vegas right now, and we were at this event. We had a guest speaker, keynote speaker, and it's someone who you know and you're a big fan of. And he actually wanted to say hi.
Who's that?
Mr. Joe Theismann.
Carol, it's Joe Theismann.
Oh my God.
How are you?
That was so cool.
I'm good.
So cool.
Oh my goodness.
I'm here with your son in Vegas. We just did a little. I just did a little presentation for Lean Solutions, and he's here, and so we're here. And he said you're a big fan. I said, well, let's call her. Let's say hi to Mom.
Oh my gosh. I am a big fan.
Thank you.
I was raised with the Redskins.
Oh, that's sweet. Where do you live now?
I live in Dixon, Illinois.
Oh, wow. Weather good up there?
It's about 2.5 hours from Chicago.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, I just wanted to call and say hello. Send my best to you.
Oh my God, you made my day.
Thank you so much. By the way, you got a terrific son. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. Yes, his father and I think he's pretty terrific too.
Yeah, well, I agree with you guys. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Mom. I'll call you soon.
Joe Theismann right there, everybody. So Joe, yeah, how freaking cool is that? Now I got to figure out how to get rid of the share. Kyle McNaught, where you at? Help me out.
Try escape.
Escape. I don't know what that. That
No, let's
was-
just look at Bane the whole time.
There we go. How about that? Joe
Awesome.
Theismann, hype man for Robert Bain. How about that? Had no idea. That was pretty freaking awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, so good.
My mom was so excited that Joe
Aw.
is her favorite player of all time. And my dad texted me. He's like, "Your mom is just walking on air right now."
Wow.
You know, of all the things that happened last weekend, I got to say, I think that might have been one of my favorite moments. Like that was one of those kind of cool moments. That's totally like a Taylor Swift moment, because that's what she would do. She would do something crazy and then make a fan for like if your mom was a fan of Joe Theismann, she's like a fanatic till she dies now. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, neat experience. What'd your mom say after that, man? What was the response?
So she called. I mean, she was crying when she called. She's like, "Oh my God, you didn't have to do that." I'm like, "You're my mom. I do literally anything for you." But it was pretty great. For her to get to experience that. She has a Theismann signed jersey and signed helmet in the basement at my parents' house.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah, it's like she is legitimately like a huge fan, and so she called her sisters who are also big Redskins fans and told them, and they called me and like, "Oh my gosh, your mom's so excited!" Like, I know she's so excited. She keeps texting me about it. So it was pretty great. Whole family kind of got involved, and both my sisters were like, "Great, guess you win Child of the Year." I'm like, "Yeah, 40 years."
May's getting a good Christmas present this year.
Awesome.
Which is
Yeah,
awesome.
it was good. It was a good day. It was a much better start to my Saturday than the end. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, listen, we had a few more pop in. Nathan Frazier, what's up, brother? Nathan iPad, I like it. Meshach in the house. Good to see you last weekend as Meshach as well. We got some pictures of you as well. Greg Roberts in the house. And of course, our boy Ben Kowalski coming in late. He's in the back doing stats and doing some research for us today. So he may not make it onto the show. We'll see if he sticks around if somebody drops out. I love that about this. I kind of love the fact that some people can't get in. Can't quite get in. So Ben, you look good. But we'll see if we actually see you in the studio here in just a little bit. So, all right. So first of all, we had the Super Bowl last weekend, so we got to talk about the game a little bit. We did some poll predictions last week, and I want to go over some of those. So we did some prop bets and some things to see what you guys would pick. So here's what we had. So last week, first question we asked last week was who's going to win the coin toss, and the Bengals won the coin toss. So they deferred. So if you picked the Bengals, kudos to you. Second, who's going to score first? The Rams scored first, which wasn't a huge surprise considering their offensive power, although unfortunately Odell Beckham Jr. Went down. Did anybody find out what happened to him? Did he end up with a torn ACL or what happened?
That's what people are saying. I don't know if it's confirmed or not
It
yet.
hasn't been confirmed yet. He's getting a second opinion.
Okay.
He's actually going down to Alabama to see what's his name. Same guy who reconstructed Adrian Peterson's knee.
I'm thinking it's a good time to retire. I mean, you're Super Bowl champ. I don't know. I mean, he's made his money. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to come back from that at the age of 30, but we'll see what happens, That's why they're champions. We'll see what happens. Halftime score. Who's going to be leading at halftime? The Rams are up 13-10, which is a pretty low-scoring game. Defensive struggle for the most part. Pretty good game. Oh, we just had Aaron jumped into the backstage studio as well. Oh, Aaron, you're a little late today, but your hair looks great. All right, we'll see if he makes it or not. And then the over/under was 48.5, I believe, 47.5, somewhere around there. It was under 43 points. Although if Burrow could have scored, that would have been nice. I was pulling for the Bengals. And then, of course, who's going to win? Well, the Rams won. St. Louis people are not happy about that. I'm just going to let you know. No one's real happy about that. And then who would win MVP? This is interesting. So this was actually a little controversy. So Cooper Kupp won. Obviously had the playoffs of any wide receiver. Obviously played really well. Then you got Aaron Donald on the defensive side, who pretty much kind of like ended the game and disrupted a lot in the second half. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. What do you guys think?
No way. Cooper Kupp won it for him. Cooper Kupp in that fourth down drive, the fourth down, 100% him. Like Aaron Donaldson had a horrible. It was everyone was gone. He didn't have Odell Beckham. It was Cooper Kupp that won that.
Well, I'll give you Cooper Kupp did do well in the final round. But they talked about this. It was a lot of the fact that their defense changed. They started kind of moving back and giving the unders, and Cooper Kupp just caught it and ran. See, that's what you get for saying that, Kyle. You're off. Like your whole internet just cut out because it was a bad take.
I was going to say, when you dictate having 3 people guard you on every given play, Aaron Donald, that takes a lot out of people. So I think that's worth saying.
The last play of the game when they needed to stop, and he went around the guy. And in fact, there's a picture. It's so funny. The offensive lineman is looking this way, and Aaron Donald is already behind him. Like I don't even know what happened. It's almost like Aaron paid him at the line, like, hey, just pretend I'm not here, and he went around him. I don't know what happened, but it was good. There was a lot of good play there. I'm very excited for Matt Stafford. Although I will say this, there was some talk afterwards, and now he's Hall of Fame bound. That may have gone a little too far. That was kind of recency bias, I think.
Pump the brakes, play.
Yeah,
Pump
easy
the
there.
brakes.
Anybody playing in the NFC North, their numbers are always
A
padded.
little inflated. That's right. A little inflated. It is what it is. That's kind of how it goes. All right. So I gave you guys a poll. Hope you guys have taken it. Let me pull this up and see if anybody's responded. We're going to go ahead and look at some of these numbers from the poll today for the halftime show. Only 3 of you responded, man. Get back on that. We're on halftime shows.
Give us a
Go for it. Coleman's on the job. Very good. Oh, Nathan backed out. I don't know if is he going to drop out or is he just closing the camera? We'll find out in just a minute. All right. So we're going to talk about halftime shows. Halftime show was legit this time. I think it's probably one of my favorite ones of all time. We're going to talk about some of the best ones of all time here, but it's pretty legit, pretty good. All right, so, here we go. Can you guys hear the music today? Yeah, Thank you, Robert Bain. That's right. That's right. Awesome. Here we go. All right, now the responses are coming in. I love it.
Sorry about that.
All right.
See, if y'all didn't come to the mastermind, y'all missed it. Trey got to see us. I went absolutely apeshit during that halftime show.
That halftime show was crazy. It was almost like when we were at the Ludacris concert. 10 feet away from the guy. It was almost like that.
Absolutely awesome.
Pretty good.
Okay.
All right. First of all, did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show? About 70% of you watched it. It's pretty good. Yeah, not bad. What did the other two do? Did you not watch the game at all? Or did you turn it off and go do something else? You don't care? What?
I went to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah, I was out hiking as well.
Did you guys go to Eagle Ridge and Guano Point and everything?
We did, yeah. It was super cool. I was like, I can't be 2 hours away from it and not go see it. So,
All right, that's good.
Glad you guys got to do that.
That's fair. Okay. Oh, by the way, Aaron, the poll is actually I sent an email and it's in the comments on the live stream if you look at that. So anybody on the live stream can take the poll as well. So something to think about. All right. So first of all, 7 of you watched it, 2 of you did not. What's up, John? Good to see you from North Texas. Thanks for watching today. All right. Next question. Which performer did the best during the halftime show? Looks like overwhelmingly, and this is the right answer, everybody. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Doggy Dog, Doggy Dog.
So no option for 50 Cent even?
You know,
He tried.
He's still stuck up there. There's no option for him.
I almost put it in there, but did you guys know that he was not an official participant of the halftime show? He was not in any of the promos. He was not listed as one of the performers. So I think he just snuck in there and dropped down. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he got in there, but kudos to him for just getting in there. But no, I chose not to put him on there because he wasn't officially on the docket. But the correct answer there is Snoop Doggy Dogg with Dr. Dre 4. So Eminem only got 1. I thought Eminem did pretty good too.
I feel like Eminem would have gotten a lot more if he sang more than just half a song.
Yeah, that's true. Would have been nice to have him get a little bit more.
If they could have linked some of the songs together with some of the collabs like that, like if 50 goes to Eminem and it's Patiently Waiting, and then Eminem and Kendrick, I think that'd been awesome. They could have done that. Overall, though, still an unbelievable show. And like I said, I absolutely lost my shit when 50 hung upside down. I was crazy.
Mary J. Blige was pretty good too. I think the whole vibe was really cool. I remember watching. I was right there with Jared Wolf and his dad, Alan was by. Shout out to Alan Wolf, Jared's dad. He was like, "Oh, this is horrible." So it's kind of fun to see, like different generations. I think they knew who their target audience was. It was probably that 35 to 50 range, and they knocked it out of the park. It was pretty legit. So it was pretty good. Okay, all right, back to the poll real quick. So, couple of questions. Let's see what we got here. We'll see what happens. Okay, number 3. Which Super Bowl halftime show was the greatest of all time? Now, this is call for some debate here. All right. So first of all, 5 of you chose this year, and I was in that group. I think this one was the greatest of all time. But of course, there is recency bias. I get that. 5 of you chose 2007 with Prince. That was pretty legit. Yeah. And then nobody chose any of the rest. So we got 5 on 5 here. So somebody who chose Prince, talk to me about that. Who chose Prince? Good. Meshack, you had to choose Prince, right? Minneapolis?
Of course. Of course. He went to the same high school as I did. And yeah, I almost got to work on an interview with him once, but he bailed out. But we still got to interview Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam, which was fun.
Wow,
yeah. But the reason I liked it is it just seemed like he just took you to a different place when Prince did. It was just really
Purple.
immersive. It was just like
during Purple Rain. I mean, come on, like it was
Purple Rain in the rain.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Nothing else you have to say.
In the rain,
Fair enough. We got a LinkedIn user that's asking where is Creed on the list. Listen, I love Creed. I'm a big fan.
They're
of Creed.
not in the playlist.
I'm a big fan of Creed, but no, not for this. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, when you think about like Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, obviously this year's show. I mean, Creed is good, but no, definitely not. Sorry about that. And by the way, put your name on your LinkedIn user. That way we know who's in the show. But thank you for being there. Appreciate it.
If I said Creed, I wouldn't put my name on there either.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Nathan, if you said Creed in here, we would have kicked you out real quick.
Okay, so old man and yourself. The kids love Creed. They love Nickelback. They love that. The
Nickelback is making a comeback. Anybody notice that? I don't know what's going on.
TikTok's bringing it back.
Jesus.
Comeback. I've heard Nickelback.
They never suffered through the radio days of Creed.
Solidifies my opinion that TikTok is stupid.
Well, it may be stupid, but it is reaching people. Let me just tell you.
It is.
You can reach for stupidity.
Hey, that's true. We can both be right on this. We can both be right. But I'm telling you, Nickelback's making a for real comeback. I'm seeing a world tour coming up in 2023. It's got to be on that. It's got to be coming up. Oh,
Biscuit made a comeback.
Ooh, I was close. I almost got
Nickelback's going to make a comeback.
For anybody who doesn't like earworms, you know, TikTok is like the devil. I mean, that's like they've weaponized earworms. It's the worst.
Whatever they've done, listen, man, I'm telling you, like it's huge. And the primary demographic on TikTok right now, 40 to 55-year-olds. And a lot of truck drivers are actually out there using it because they're on the road, they're being entertained. Pretty interesting. Okay. All right. Next question, real quick. Let's go ahead and talk about the commercials. By the way, did you guys watch the commercials? Everybody get a chance to watch some of them. So I sent out a video earlier. I may try to get that link into the comments here. I sent out a video and had a chance to hopefully look over the top 10 or what they thought were the top 10. So that's what I put on this were the ones that were the top 10 in that regard. So let's go through these real quick. So which Super Bowl commercial was the best? Looks like we got it spread out. A little diversity here. I like it. So two of you chose the Frito-Lay Flamin' Hot. That one was pretty good. Good. I chose the one with Larry David, the FTX Don't Miss. I thought that was pretty classic. What are some of the ones that you guys chose? Some of you chose Salesforce, the Nissan commercial. I like the RoboDog one. That was pretty funny, pretty clever. All right, somebody tell me why you chose what you chose.
I chose RoboDog personally.
Coleman, you chose RoboDog?
Yeah, it's tugging on the heartstrings with a puppy, you know, trying to get charged up. It was like it had me. It had me in the beginning.
Also going with the electric vehicle theme, you know, the kind of the futuristic idea. I mean, do you think that somebody at some point would? I mean, do people have electric dogs? Is that a real thing? Do you think it will be a real thing?
My dog,
of course it will be.
My friend actually has the dog that's modeled after. It was like a $750 dog made by Tiger.
That's cheaper than my dog. And Kyle, I love your face. Kyle's so confused right now. He's like, what is this?
Well, they aren't as good looking of dogs, but I just saw an article actually that they have robo dogs patrolling the border of Mexico and the United States.
Wow.
So not as cute as the one that's in the commercial, but it'll get there eventually. Don't worry.
Nice. Okay, and we do have so Eric Thornton. By the way, if you guys don't know Eric Thornton, the guy's like 7 foot tall. I don't even stand by him because if somebody gets a picture of that, it's going to look terrible. But he's a great guy.
You say balance, like what are you talking about here? Because
came to the Mastermind event. Shout out Eric Thornton and congratulations on the long drive competition. He won it this year, or won one of the holes. So yeah, I mean most people I stand by Bane. You're right, but this guy. I mean, I don't even think I come up to his armpit.
That's not wrong. I didn't see Eric at the Mastermind. He's a tall dude.
It's absolutely disgusting. So anyway, all right, good poll. Thanks for taking that. Appreciate it. I think the Super Bowl was pretty legit. I think the entire NFL playoffs was amazing. The game was a good game, and the halftime show was great. So man, what a run. Yeah, Nathan.
The couple things real quick. I went to the game. It was fantastic. I just sent you a text, Trey. You can hear the crowd when Eminem came out. So after the call, just listen to that video, and you can hear the crowd, their reaction when he comes out.
I mean, you could feel it.
It's kind of funny. We recorded the game, and when we came back, we watched it from home. And we really didn't watch the game. We really just wanted to see the commercials.
We
wanted to mention the other.
There he's back.
Okay. Keep going. Where'd you lose me? Sorry.
You really just wanted to watch the commercials?
Yeah, I really just wanted to watch the commercials. And so I was the other on the survey, and mine was the Peyton Brooks Koepka, Serena, tennis, Michelob Ultra commercial by far.
Yeah. Hey, can we just say that athletes are really cashing in right now? Retired athletes, I mean, Peyton in general, dude's cashing in on those.
Peyton Manning was on like 4 different.
The Manning family is cashing in right now. Jeez.
Oh yeah, that whole ESPN thing when they're like on Monday Night Football, that was genius.
Plus the Caesar Sportsbook.
If Arch can live up to the hype, it's a whole other generation of them coming through.
I'd be curious to know the ratings versus Monday Night Football on ESPN and the show with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Like, I'd be curious how many people switch over and just watch it on ESPN2. I don't know. We'll
especially when they got Marshawn on there. That's awesome.
I know.
The first I don't remember the exact numbers, but the first couple, it was up there, but it became a bit of a novelty. And it became, as Robert was alluding to, whoever had the most or the best guests on. That's when people would flip over, and then they'd flip back to the normal.
Yeah. Well, we got a comment from Nerf. He says that it was not a hold, and that it's rigged. That was a question. So let's talk about the game. I'm glad Nerf brought that up. So talking about the game is a great game overall. I love it when they don't call penalties, when they really just let them play, and they really did for the most part. But then on that last drive, one of them I think I could go with, the other one definitely not. But the fact that they call them at the end of the game just puts that question in people's minds. Nerf, I'm with you on that. Like, it's questionable, and that just bothered me. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Was it a hold, or was it not?
The hold was a makeup call.
Yeah, the face mask.
The pass interference was,
Jalen got
not
face
legit.
mask. One of the touchdowns should have been called.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I love about golf, everybody. Nobody ever complains in a golf tournament that it was rigged. Nerf, you watch golf, enjoy that. You'll never have to feel that way again. That's the way it goes.
Don't get napping on your Sunday afternoons too.
That's all I'm saying. Exactly. I mean, it's a win-win. There's no doubt about it. Okay. All right. So
Dave, what swag did you get from the Super Bowl? Like, what did you get in your seat and stuff?
Oh yeah, Nathan, tell us more about the experience. What was that stadium like, by the way? That stadium is.
It's pretty amazing. Kind of cool if you on the Times Free Press here in Chattanooga. So the screen was actually made here in Chattanooga, which was kind of neat. The center screen that's up in the arena, that guy made the one at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then he just made this one. It's actually a pretty neat story if you read that. I had a customer of mine who has way more money than he needs and had an extra ticket and had an extra seat on his plane, and we left that morning and came back in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Is that Chris Jolly?
I've heard enough.
No, it's not Chris Jolly.
It's exciting. Look, it's exciting you get a ticket to the game. I'm happy for you. But now you're talking about flying private and all. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is really embarrassing. And by the way, 2 comments. Number 1, everybody knows that. Isn't it amazing how Nathan knows way too many details, like back behind the scenes details? He always knows the behind the scenes details. And number 2. Chattanooga is getting way too much love. Everything comes out of Chattanooga. Like when Nathan's on, Chattanooga gets massive love, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's just, it's impressive.
Well, it's raining and we have shitty weather. So
okay, there you go. Level it out.
It's sunny and it's 7 here in Chicago, so like there's trade-offs, right?
All right. Level it out. I like that. Okay.
Hey, when do you get to start playing golf? Because I still got 3 months until it freaking clears up here in Boston. So shitty weather, you can calm down.
If you notice, my nose is a lot, and this area, the face down, is a lot more tan than this area.
Okay. So your shitty weather is kind of what we take as a really good holy crap. That's everyone take off their shirts and just run around.
In Massachusetts. Yeah, really.
I play year round. I've got tournaments coming up, so I play year round. I've been playing a lot.
Man.
How do I grow up to be you, Nate?
Yeah, I know everybody needs to hang out with Nathan a little bit more. You'll live a better life.
Come to Chattanooga.
You'll live a better life. All right,
I'll be there anyways, my friend.
Yeah. All right. So we got to talk about something in regards to the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but Super Bowl was held in sunny Los Angeles, California. And it was interesting because in the Super Bowl, nobody's wearing a mask anywhere. That's done, right? Nathan, you can probably confirm that. In Vegas, they ended the mask mandate the morning we got there. Like literally, we go into the hotel, we check in, and they're like, "Hey, just want to let you know the mask mandate ended 30 minutes ago." We're like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool, all right, done, all right." So that was cool.
I wasn't wearing it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And it was so nice to see, and again, however you feel about it, it was nice to see workers taking their masks off. I can't imagine being a worker having to wear a mask all the time. It was so good to see. But this is the funny part. So you got the Super Bowl, no masks. You got all this stuff, no masks. You got Vegas, no masks. Go back into the airport. got to put your mask back on. And this was the first time, that I saw people defiantly not wearing a mask in the airport, because they're like, go outside. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Like, what are we doing here? How long do you think it's going to be until the federal government takes that off of airports and other things like that? What do you guys think? How long?
Well, I'll talk about the Super Bowl first. I thought one of the most amazing things there was no one had to wear a mask. There was not any hand sanitizer. There was nothing. No one cared. It was whatever you want. But yet, literally 3 blocks from there is an elementary school, just like any other school in Los Angeles, that, the kids have to wear masks right when they step on the property and can't take it off other than lunch. It's and then I think kids are like the least people to transmit it. The one thing I will say that was amazing, the one thing that I noticed when I rewatched the game, and then I noticed it when I was flying in, if you've been to LA, you've always, if you fly into LAX or anywhere else, you can always see not many buildings because of the smog. And with people working from home from COVID and less production and everything, it's very clear. Like, it was the most beautiful Los Angeles I've ever seen because the smog is not there.
Yeah. It's interesting how it's going to work out with things like schools and airports and just how far it's going to go. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with the COVID numbers, and if it comes back or if it's gone or if it's.
I called it 2 shows ago, Trey. I told y'all when it was happening. Memorial Day.
You did call it. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, as we all know, we won't get into it today, but maybe later, it's going to be political season real soon. So it's going to be interesting how they spin, these things as it just always happens both ways. I'm really interested to see. I'm sure they're doing their message testing right now. So if you get a phone call from, we'd like to do a quick survey, you're probably going to ask about how you feel about that. So we'll see how that all turns out. But anyways, pretty crazy, all that. Okay, so listen. So we got another poll. I'm going to put it in the comments for the show as well as the private comments. We're going to be talking about, along with like mask mandates and things like that, we're going to talk about what's going down right now in Canada, what that means for the United States, kind of where we're headed with that. So go ahead and take that poll real quick. While we're doing that, we're going to just listen to a few tunes. So enjoy. Tupac, my favorite, by the way. How lit would that show have been last night if Tupac and Biggie were still around and they were there?
Hands down would have been best ever.
Hey, has anybody heard of the I Love the 80s tour that was going around with or was it I Love the 90s with like Salt and Peppa and like Color Me Bad and all them? Like, I went to see that. I think the whole halftime show proved that like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop, not Mary J. Blige,
I think
that they all need to go on tour together.
I think CNN produced those. I Love the 80s, I Love the 90s, right? I think is that or MTV? Who produces those?
Nico, on MTV2, I think on like Sunday mornings they have I Love the 80s and 90s club mix. We clean the house and do laundry and stuff on Sunday mornings in between church, and let me tell you, it's probably one of the best. That station is very loud on Sundays at my house.
I do have a hot take on the folks who were performing at the halftime show, though. So I love the halftime show. So I want to shit over it.
Nerf.
Sorry, Bane. Got to talk about this comment. Hold your thought. This is so funny. Nerf says in Canada, when we call the government, we have 2 options: press 1 for tyranny, press 2 to get arrested, press 3 to vote for your boy.
Thank you, Jim.
All day.
Nerf, that's the comment of the day right there. You win. I don't care what comes next. That's it. All right, Bane. Go ahead. Sorry, Bane. Go ahead.
So I love the show. It was awesome. Mary J, Eminem, and 50 Cent should not have been there. Here's why. This is on the West Coast. They needed to have the rest of NWA that's still alive, West Side Connection, bring Q back. Like, that's what
Flavor Flav.
It was Aftermath Records.
Right. So I get it. Everybody.
It wasn't West Coast. It was Aftermath.
Yeah, but originally it was West Coast. Originally
it was supposed to be the West Coast, and they started adding. And then like, you look at Snoop.
On the West Coast.
Snoop just bought Death Row Records again. Or bought it out. So I'm like,
that's right.
I really feel like that would have been a very interesting show, though I don't know if people would have liked it as much because most people don't know West Side Connection and all these rest of these
games. But I think we all need to agree that if you have a show with Dr. Dre and any other rapper, that Eminem and Snoop should be there. Like, Eminem actually
said
kind of
Snoop should be there.
re-kick-started like Dre's career when he brought him on his albums.
All right, listen, you guys debate this offline. Look at Nerf. This guy, we need to get him on the show. He says in Canada we have to wear masks more in the shower. I love it. Nerf, keep it coming.
Nerf and I are going to be best friends.
So good. Oh, it's so good. All right, cool. Let's look at the poll. We're done. You guys debating that. We're going to look at the poll here real quick. All right, so we've got, let me change to, let me see if I can, just one second. Here we go. Perfect. Here we go. All right. We're going to talk about Canada because obviously you saw what happened up there in Canada. You had Justin Trudeau and the Canadian government decide that they were going to invoke emergency powers, which anytime a government does that, I'm leery. Anytime. Obviously, if there's
emergency wartime powers.
Do what?
Very, very specific. Emergency wartime powers.
Oh, there's a wartime in there. Excuse me.
That's where it gets real fucked up because people said the black active war, so he invoked emergency wartime powers. Nerf, you can
got it. I did not catch the wartime side. Yeah, that's
a huge part of that too.
Yeah, I'm always a little nervous when that happens because I feel like that's like the last. And what's funny, I saw this. There's a news clip out there. I saw this news clip where the representative or one of the representatives in their parliament stood up and quoted Justin Trudeau to say, "We don't take this lightly. It's not the first thing you do, the second thing you do, or the third thing you do." And the parliamentarian said, "Can they tell us what the first thing was that they did, and the second thing, and the third thing that they did?" And it was like getting huge roars in Parliament. So it's very, very interesting. But let's go ahead and talk about this. So how did you perceive Canada's use of emergency wartime powers? I should change that.
It's not wartime. It's called the Emergencies Act.
There you go.
It's for like critical like infrastructure challenges, and it's not just wars. It's from 1988. It's an emergency wartime.
Mishak, it's good you're here, so we have a fact checker on staff. So
that's a very loaded way of putting it.
Emergency acts or emergency act was used. Okay, so how do we feel about it? So one of you said it was much needed. 6 of you said appropriate, but needs to be checked. Needs to be kind of in check. 3 of you put a huge overreach, and 1 of you chose other. Who's the other?
I just wrote, I don't know enough to really have a good opinion. I got to research. Can't just sit there and throw out my ideas if I don't know what's happening.
Have you not been watching the news or reading anything?
No, new job. Who dis? I haven't had time to do it.
Fair enough. Good point. All right, cool. Well, talk to Bane. He'll catch you up, and then call Mishak to get the truth. All right. Number two. And I love you. You know that. All right. Number 2. Are you okay with protests that disrupt economies and or disrupt citizens' lives? Because this is kind of where it rubbed, is that it started to disrupt economy and disrupt people's lives, maybe people who didn't care or didn't support it. So 5 of you say, yes, that's the nature of protest. 3 say yes, but it depends on the issue. 2 of you say no, protest should not disrupt. And 1 of you is other. I will take that's Kyle who chose other again.
Well, for a different reason. I think that I'm fine with protests. I think that that's not the question. It's the response that's the issue. Like, I think how we respond is very different based off of what type of protest it is, where I think that sometimes, don't disrupt. This is ridiculous. I think the white supremacists in Florida that were like disrupting for no reason, that should be dealt with, but other stuff should be not dealt with and should be allowed to happen. I think it's a different way.
So this leads us to a really interesting thought, and that is, who gets to decide what's a valid protest that's not worth disrupting, and who decides which one's okay?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe is the one of choice.
Go fund myself.
That's a new hashtag right there. Go fund myself. Go fund yourself. Something like that. So
you can't say that because some people can't fund themselves.
That should be like one of their marketing things. Like that should be their thing. Go fund me. Go fund yourself. Something like that. They can do a whole campaign around that.
I can
be totally appropriate. Pretty funny.
Canadian truckers only.
Anyways, all right. So moving on. Okay, so it depends on. So some of you depends on the issue. Some of you, but it's a tricky thing because the documents of governments just say protest. They don't necessarily, or to right to assemble. They don't say what's okay and what's not. That's where it gets a little sketchy. So
America wouldn't exist if we didn't have like protests that financially impacted other people, right?
It's a great point. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the key issues was the no taxation without representation, and we're gonna screw you financially. That's the protest, and that's what did it. So pretty interesting. All right, question 3: have you ever attended a protest in person? I wanted to ask this question because you know me, I talk a lot. I've got an opinion on a lot of stuff, but I was like, you know what? I've never actually been to a protest. I wonder who else has been to a protest, because might be a little hypocritical for me to have an opinion, maybe, if I've never actually participated, but I figured, well, what the heck? We'll throw it out there. So it looks like 3 of you have been to a protest. 8 of you have not. You're kind of like me, talking from the stands. Who's been to a protest and what was it over? Curious. All right, Bane, you go first.
Yeah, I was one of those parents that stormed into a PTA meeting that they tried to make close to us.
I believe you.
That's not going to work for Bane.
Yeah, I believe
Bane did full on like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, like threw the doors open. Here's like
you did not.
Schools,
I didn't see video of that.
Like I'm not like not easy to spot, and I was very calm. I was very polite about it, but I'm like, we don't believe in certain things. My issue was all around just make it all make sense and make it all. And one of the issues was like sporting events. We're at sporting events this past weekend that we were at, and this was a few months ago that I was at the protest. We were there, and no masks, no issues, no vax cards. All that was fine. And now here are our kids. All I want is for it to all make sense, for it to all be. And these are school-sponsored sporting events. That was my big issue. Like if it was outside of that, it is what it is. These are school-sponsored sporting events. The kids don't have to wear masks. But as soon as they're back in school, here they go. Then they start, well, masks are going to be optional soon. They are now in Illinois in almost every school. But up until yesterday, they would segregate kids that didn't have masks. Like that's not okay either, because you're calling them out and you're opening them. Like you preach a non-bullying type of culture, but you're letting these kids be pulled out of class, and you're inciting this because you're then telling other kids, stay away from them. Don't make eye contact or all these other, depending on the teacher. So I'm like, this is not okay. These things are not okay.
Yeah. Something, a silver lining that's come out of all of this is I feel like parents are more engaged now with their families and making decisions. Whereas I think in the past, maybe they just kind of let it go and didn't really check things. And now they're checking things. Now they're thinking through it. Schools are on notice. Government's on notice. School choice is becoming a topic of debate again. And I mean, we have a private Christian school that's attached to our church, and they have a waiting list now, and they haven't had a waiting list in years. Parents that want to get, have their kids in there and have some control and have choice. So the silver lining is I think parents are a little bit more involved now than maybe they have been in the past, which I think is always great. The more the parents I think can be involved and be engaged, to me is a good thing. But that's good. Okay, so Bane went to a protest. He busted down the doors at a school board meeting. How about
was that on January 6th?
7th. So I got his.
Okay. Who else has been to a protest here on the crew? All right, Nico, what have you been to?
I protested in my neighborhood for them firing our chief of police. It's such a first world problem because my neighborhood has its own police force. But yeah.
Your neighborhood has their own police force?
Yeah, we're the only neighborhood in Virginia that still has their own police force. We're grandfathered in. It's a part of like Stafford County Police. It's just my neighborhood's a private neighborhood, gated community, so we pay for our own police force.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Because if not, like Stafford County would take like 15 minutes to get to the back of my neighborhood. Our police can do it in 7. So it's a huge community.
So you're out. You're not actually like in a suburb. You're a little ways out. Is that what you're saying? Your neighborhood's a little further out from?
No, we're in Stafford County, Virginia, which is kind of spread out already, but we're a 3,000 acre gated community of like 2,200 homes, and there's winding roads going through it.
So you guys skipped the security guard. You went straight to police force. You're like, you know what? Security guard's not going to do it. We need our own police force.
We wanted people on the property who actually have like arrest powers.
Oh, wow.
Like speeding in my neighborhood, you don't get like a stern warning.
They're like deputies. They are full deputies.
They are full deputized police.
Interesting. Anyone else here been in a protest? Anyone else? Or maybe an outside? Okay. All right. Cool. Interesting. Okay. All right. Next question. For which type of issues would you be willing to protest, and choose as many as you want? 5 of you would protest for inequality, 6 for injustice, 2 for economic turmoil. I guess it depends on how bad it gets, right? If it got really bad, I bet that number would go up a lot more. Government actions, 5, threats to family or home livelihood, 5, and then 2 of you put something else. What am I missing here? Anything in here? No. All right, cool. Yeah, it's interesting. I think about protests. I think about the Civil War. I think about situations in history where people had to act, whether it be on a small scale or on a large scale. And I just wonder, what's the tipping point of that of making that decision where you're going to go ahead and protest, or you're going to go and pick up a gun and go fight or whatever it might be. I don't know. It's an interesting question to think what would have to happen in order to get to that place economically. I don't know. Not too sure what the situation will be. So very interesting.
For me, most protesting seems really performative, like it doesn't, like it would be just better off just to be like, okay, we want to change X. Okay, so let's start training people in to or supporting people to get in local government, or, like if we want to change the police force, let's start training people in and supporting people to go towards, careers. And know that it's going to take a long time to make change, that you can't just snap your fingers. And I feel like a lot of really good causes, there's protests that happen and the change doesn't really happen because there's this flare up and then there's some lip service and then it just keeps happening. Like think about like longer term goals that where you have to work with the people on the other side of the aisle and get somewhere, and I put down government because I'm like, if things get bad enough with the government, that's a way that the citizenry have powers and you can actually create change. But otherwise, I am skeptical. I feel like you should just be like, okay, this is going to take 30 years and let's just suck it up and have a 30-year plan.
Yeah, change is hard. Any government, any country, at least for the most part, like a democracy, is like a huge ship, and it is hard to turn.
Check. TikTok is only 3 minutes long, man. It's gotta be fast. Can't take 30 years. Way too long.
Well, that's the thing too. So when we engage in protests, nobody wants to stick around for the long haul and actually do that work. We live in this society of instant gratification. So it's like, we don't want to put in the effort, and then we let our guard down and we go back to old behaviors, and then we're still dealing with the same systemic issues decades later. So hopefully our younger population.
Rhonda, I agree with you 100%. To me, protests are just like a nonprofit board meeting. Everybody has a great idea, but no one wants to actually get their hands dirty and do it. And
it's a good analogy. I like
I also don't do protests. There's things I believe in. There's, I have a strong heart for certain things, and there's certain things I detest very much. But to me, I work for a large company and I manage a lot of people. And unfortunately, in the world we live in with social media and just media in general, opinions are formed and they're never changed based off certain events. And I feel like once you put that step out there, and even now, just a political statement, if you put that out there, then you're automatically labeled, and unfortunately can carry that the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's probably one of the good points too. At the end, you said is that some of these things are damaging long term, not short term. That's for sure. But on something that is also long term, how many better albums are there than this album right here? This is one of the classics. There might be only just a handful that. Yeah. Snoop sounds the same today as he did 30 years ago. Crazy.
None of that.
Absolutely crazy. Okay. All right. So interesting. Good points. That's very interesting to talk about that. And we'll see what happens with the government stuff and with the masking and all that stuff. It'll be more to talk about later on this for sure. Let's transition to something else. And that is several of you on this call had the opportunity to be in Vegas this weekend. And we got to recap the Mastermind event. I got to say, that thing was just lit. It was so good. So, but before I go off and talk about it, Bane, you were there. Raquel, you were there. Meshach was there. Of course, Kyle was there. He probably didn't know what's happening. He never knows when things are happening. But, Bane, Raquel, Meshach, give some of your thoughts real quick on the Mastermind event.
Well, it once again falls in the category of my life is nobody dope shit.
I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. You guys did a great job. I came home and just can't wait till next year for sure.
This is the first time for all of you, correct? I think, right? Yeah, because Bane, you weren't there last year either. Okay, yeah. That's Raquel. I love you. It's a can't miss event. If you haven't been, you really got to go. It's amazing. A little education, a lot of fun.
Is it always in Vegas, Trey?
Always in Vegas. Always over Super Bowl weekend. It's really easy to remember.
Cool.
So
I'll be in next year.
Absolutely. And it's for our clients, it's for our prospects, and it's for our preferred partners. So if you are in one of those three categories, then you should show up. Absolutely. So love for you guys to be there next year. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be at the Resorts World, I believe, again, which that place was awesome. Brand new.
Perfect.
Oh, amazing facility. Yeah. Beautiful rooms. Meshach, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Vegas to begin with. I mean, I've almost always just been there for work, except for one time I was there for a wedding for a friend.
I've seen you there twice in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you know, like I really enjoyed. I mean, the Resorts World was actually really pretty nice. They had really good food. They have that food court area, which was
so
pretty
good.
great. Yeah. And but mostly it was the people. You know, it's just great spending time with you, Trey, and Robert, and seeing Raquel, and just a really great group of people, and you know, catching up with some people that I hadn't seen in a while, and meeting people in person that I hadn't met, and yeah, there was some great sessions, and of course, you know, like the activities were just top notch. It was really great, and of course the Lean Solutions Group people, they were just really great. I really enjoyed talking to people a bit more than I had the last time I'd seen them, and they're just really a very passionate group of people that one, I've enjoyed working with them and contracting work out to them and collaborating with them, but two, just in person, just a lot of real passion, a lot of real competency, all in one, you know, group. So it was a win-win for me.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. No, it was great. I mean, it started out with we had a welcome reception at the Ollie Lounge on 66 on the 66th floor.
That was
good.
good.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but most buildings in Vegas are not that tall. So, you know, you could actually see quite a bit of the entire strip as well as the other side, which has the stratosphere on it. So that was really cool.
You can see the whole valley once the sunset.
Oh, it was amazing. Beautiful spot. Saturday morning with the Mastermind event, Cassandra Gaines was there. She had a great panel. She had Hannah McClellan from Amazon, Mark Hong from C.H. Robinson, Augustin Hariag from Fluence Energy, Justin Hall from ABC, just some heavy hitters in the industry, which is great. We had the Colombian operations team from Colombia come up and talk about how to leverage Lean. They were awesome. They did really well. And then we had Joe Theismann speaking at the event, which we got some pictures of that here in just a minute. We'll show. That was great. And then we had the afternoon activities. What did you guys do? Bane. Tell everybody about what you did, man. Everybody's got to hear the story.
So the three options you had for activities, you go shoot heavy artillery, which is super dope, but some I've done, so I didn't necessarily want to go do it again. I wanted some new experience. They had what they call laps of luxury, which is they put you in the passenger seat of an exotic sports car, drive you around a track, 170 miles an hour. Again, something I've done in the past. And so super cool. Just I wanted something new, and I wanted to be out of my comfort zone a bit. I'm not an outdoorsman necessarily. I don't like doing outdoor shit. And so we had an offer adventure, and I was like, I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to go and do this. And so I was by myself. My wife was going to come with me, but this last minute, she wasn't able to come out to Vegas. So like, hey, like I'll jump in. I jumped in with one of the guys from Lean. To be fair, I was not super comfortable with the Polaris vehicles. I've never driven one before, so I wanted to kind of see how it operated. And we got out on the train, and we'll say he probably also was not super comfortable with it. Let's put it that way. And so
that's fair.
I say all that. And, part of my career, I was a certified director of safety. So I had to dissect accidents and that kind of stuff. And so I kind of can do that in my head now, like as they're happening, if I happen to be involved or I'm nearby. And I see us coming up to this embankment. It's about 4 feet high. And we should be coming into this turn at about 10 to 15. And we're probably doing 30. So this is not going to end well for you, boy. Long story short, we hit this embankment. The vehicle goes over. All this happens in the course of about 2 seconds, where I see him like let go of the wheel. Jesus took the wheel. I grab the T-bar on the dash. I slam my arm against the door. I brace it, and I'm telling you all this for a very specific reason. I brace my feet into the floor, and I like brace my upper body like I'm going to catch a huge squat, and just jack myself into the vehicle. We stop. He's like screaming, "Are you okay?" And I just like reach up. I put my finger to his lips, like, just stop talking. Stop talking for a minute here. Got to unclench myself. So the vehicle was still drivable, but he like cracked the radiator. He like $5,000 of the damage to this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He called up. He called us and said, "I need a credit card." So
yeah. Like, hey, do you still want to drive? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to drive. I went up with the guide, and so that was kind of nice. I got the rest of the tour with no dust in my eyes. But they got back and they looked, and so these seats are made of this heavy duty plastic. And he's like, "I've never seen someone damage one of these. You cracked it in half." So when I braced myself against it, I cracked the seat in half.
Did you get a picture?
Oh my gosh!
I didn't actually. I should have got a picture of the seat. But yeah, so I ended up. I had like a little soreness in my neck. I had some road rash in my arm, but what's crazy is I got home and I was telling the story at the gym, and one of the guys at the gym's like, dude, my best friend like died that way when he was 17 in Vegas, doing the exact same thing. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, but he's not Beefcake Bane. So.
No, he's not. No, he
not.
Built different.
I will say the guide was driving really fast. I had to tell John to slow down a time or two because we were a couple cars behind Robert. And
so you guys saw me wipe out.
What was that?
You guys saw the accident.
We didn't see it. We came up behind you. Yeah.
You guys pulled Matthew Stafford, just drove on.
Oh no.
Love it. Awesome. Love it. Yeah. So that was kind of the highlight, was getting the phone call saying, we need a credit card, which, you know, listen, we know it's going to happen. This is our second year doing it. This is our second card to flip. So we kind of know that that's in the budget, that it's going to be happening. So it wasn't a surprise, but that was good. The Laps of Luxury was awesome. People love that. The shooting range, I had somebody come back from the shooting range with their eyes so wide open, like shooting M80s and stuff. Just absolutely loved it. We had a great dinner that night. We passed out some awards. We had Coach PJ Fleck speak, which I'll talk about him in a minute, but that was awesome. It's like a halftime speech. I mean, where they're having a casual dinner, and by the time he was done, I swear people were about to put on pads and go jumping through the walls. I mean, just intense this guy was. I wish we had that recording right now. We did record part of it, but I wish we had the whole thing. It was so good to share some of that. But that was good. And then Sunday morning we had our golf tournament, and then we had the Super Bowl party. You know, I think we should just share this week in pictures, and then that way we can talk about a little bit more. So let me just go ahead and share that real quick. And we'll go running through this week in pictures. That was Steve, by the way, Eminem. All right. So this week in pictures, first of all, we got to start with this. Bane, this one's for you, buddy. All right. First, we got to start with this. So talk to us.
So this is my youngest. Her name is Ella. Her birthday was actually last Tuesday, and I did get a chance to get that out to Trey. So she is 12. As you can see, she is very much her own person. Got her hair did. And yeah, she's I'll tell you what, she is something else. Definitely a great mixture of me and my wife. She's evil genius, smart, obviously she's very pretty, and she has probably the strongest will of any human I've ever met.
She looks like she should be in Descendants, the movie Descendants, with the hair and that little smirk on her face. Oh, yeah. Totally could have been one of those. So, well, happy birthday to Ella. Happy.
Hey, did you get matching?
What's up?
Did you also get some streaks in your hair?
Just in his beard.
Just in my chest hair.
It's in the chip. Prove it.
I would like to see that.
No, you got to go on
Beefcake. Show it off.
You got to go on the only beers for that.
Just some streaks. Yeah, show us some streaks, please. All right, okay. So happy birthday to Ella, 12th birthday. All right, so last year, did we totally miss this, Bane? Tony Darnell came up with last week. We should have called it Word on the Strip. Dang it. Oh. We were there twice and we totally missed it. But shout out to Tony Darnell. Took some pictures for us and was our backup guy there and came up with that. So had a good time. Had Brandon Bay with us last week. Had a beautiful view. That was the view from the room over there on the left. Had a little studio popped up and it was great. So I had a lot of fun last week and it was good. It was good to do in person. I'm telling you, I got to do the show in person. So Coleman, I'm coming to Denver this summer. We're doing it. We're gonna have a show in person and a couple other things. So I'm very excited about that. All right. So then we had the Mastermind event. Very cool set this year. We had a actually professional stage and a backdrop and screens. It was really cool. Last year it was like pieced together. It was so like, you just watch the progression of anything as it grows. It got much, much better. So I had the opportunity to MC that. And it was really cool to see that. There's kind of the setup in case you want to see that. This was the panel. As you can see, Cassandra Gaines is not up there because Cassandra walks around the entire room. She was hilarious. She was so good. So we had a good time with that. That was a lot of fun. Again, if you weren't there this year, be there next year. It's going to be even bigger and even better next year. It's awesome. This is our man Joe Theismann. He brought his rings. Let me wear one of them. It was huge. It's a legit ring. Like it's uncomfortable. Like hand got a little heavier, but that was pretty sweet. He stayed after and took pictures with anybody who wanted to. So generous with his time. Like just you don't find too many guys with his accolades that are as nice as he is. It was great having him. He got a great message too. Just talked a lot about pursuing excellence and not letting excuses get in the way and stuff like that. So awesome presentation that he had. And of course we got the street crew that was out there and even Joe threw up the sign,
right.
W for the street crew.
Awesome.
So word on the street. And cool. that was pretty awesome to have everybody out there. So even Mishak was over there. I know I can't do it like without using my hand. I got to do that. But of course, Bane, because where you grew up, of course you can do that.
Skills of mismatch. Yeah.
That's right. We had Coach PJ Fleck, and I mean, this guy went for about 45 minutes. It was so intense. Bane, what did you think about this guy?
He was dope. I got there a little later just because I was getting checked out after after the incident. But no, it was awesome.
And Raquel, you heard it as well, right?
I did. He was great. He had a lot of amazing analogies and a lot of good things we could take with us.
the thing about PJ Fleck that I really liked is that as he was sharing, he had a PowerPoint and everything, but you knew he didn't need it. That was for us. Like that guy lives that stuff every day. If you haven't had a chance to listen to PJ Fleck, make sure you do. I mean, you'll never forget that guy. He was so good. He's got a lot of hype videos on YouTube you can check out as well. University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Shout out me, Shaq, right there in your neighborhood, man.
Yeah, row the boat.
Yep, row the boat. All right, so then we had our golf tournament, and could I have picked a taller group of guys to play golf with? This is so embarrassing. Look at this. I mean, and they didn't even put me in the middle. Like that would have at least been symmetric. It was just absolutely ridiculous. My team got second this year, which was cool. Can't win every year, else it looks rigged. So but we had a good time. Great players, and then of course Jared played, and that guy's just so awesome. So it was a lot of fun having him there. It was a lot of fun. And then we're waiting for
looks like they let their kid ride the golf cart with them.
Thank you, Kyle. And just keep in mind, I do have a meme set up with you coming, so just watch yourself.
Way to go. You screenshot me.
Yeah, those figures from last week, I'm telling you. No, it was great. And again, for anybody who didn't make it this year, we're waiting for you next year. It's going to be great. February 10th through 12 in Vegas at the Resorts World. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So going to be a good time. And then also just something else that happened this week. I got connected with Dan Deacon and DJ Flores. They have the Sales Chatter podcast every morning at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Great guys, great podcast. Had a good time being on there. It is on LinkedIn if you want to look and find it. I'm going to drop some things as well. But if you have any questions about sales, these guys are rock stars, and it was a lot of fun being on the show every day, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. They've got their podcast on LinkedIn, so you can check that out. And then finally, and we'll end with this today, very excited about the Tough Mudder coming up. We're working on details. Greg, you and I have got to get together, man. It's on my schedule to do that. We got to get it together. I did find out today that we're going to be able to do donations very easily, which is awesome. And I'm putting the plan together. And folks, I'm going to throw out a crazy goal right now, okay? I can't believe I'm doing this, but this is how goals work. You have it, you say it. This is how it works. Listen, here's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We are working really hard to raise $100,000 through this event. That's a lot of money.
We can do it.
That's the number I felt like we needed to go after. All right. So we're going to talk about how to do that. If you're participating in the Tough Mudder, if you're not participating in the Tough Mudder, if you're a business out there that just wants to give to an incredible cause to help wounded veterans, there's going to be opportunities. We're going to have some sponsorships. We're going to go to a Cardinals game. It's all up here. I got to get it all out here, and then we're going to make it happen. So
guess what?
Very
Mickey Badass is going to be there, and so will I.
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping as many people from the street crew can come, and anybody else that's listening, love to have you guys to come out and check it out. And Eric, man, thanks for watching. You stayed the whole show. First time watching the show. Love it, buddy. Hey, listen.
It wasn't a complete disaster this time.
Sometimes it is. You never know. But listen, hey, Eric, get the guys from McClay's. Get down here in April. Participate in the Tough Mudder. You guys are in good enough shape. You can do it. It's going to be great. 9 miles, 30 obstacles. I'm going to raise some money for wounded veterans. It's going to be awesome. But thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate the support. And for you guys, I mean, I can't believe we're still doing this. We're coming up on 100 episodes. We're like
crazy.
4 weeks away from 100 episodes.
2 years.
Like, you guys are nuts. I can't believe we're still doing this. So awesome. So
I got to add something, Trey, to your photos. Trey, your presentation was amazing. Like anybody who's watching, you have an event. Like if you can watch the videos, or will the videos be online? Because Trey, you just did a great job. Created such a great environment. We're so quick and just kind of kept the energy going. Like and it was just remarkable hosting. Really good job.
That's
really
very kind of you. I really appreciate that. We will probably have some videos on demand. We haven't live streamed it, and I don't think that we're ever planning to do that.
Call me if you want to.
I should call you, Kyle. We'll be in touch. But we should have some videos or some clips available from the show. And it was fun. I mean, I think that's actually something I'm going to offer as MC services, because I enjoyed it probably more than anybody out there enjoyed it. Like everything. I wrote the script. I got to work with the AV crew on the cues and the transitions and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. It's like when you're in, and this is for when you're in your sweet spot, man, you need to figure out how to do more of that, because there's so much joy that just comes from it. I mean, it's nice to hear compliments. I mean, I'm so thankful, but man, I'd have done that for free. Like it was a blast. I enjoy. I shouldn't say I'll do it for free. I'm not gonna do it for free. I'm gonna charge. But I loved it enough that I would do it for less. So no, it was great.
Can I add to that real quick, Trey?
Yeah, go ahead.
So over the course of the last 2 years, this crew, street crew, has evolved tremendously, and not just as a group, but just individually. It's been Trey. You're one of the ones I think I can point to the most. Has changed and evolved and grown, and I've watched each one of these individuals over the last 2 years do that. And I think that's one of the testaments to you, Trey, to keep pulling these people back in, because I mean, let's be real here. Friday is a day where you can get a lot of stuff done. You can set up for the next week, and it's important enough to all of us and to people that sit in the waiting room hoping to get on now that we make this hour every Friday important. And that is ultimately that's going to come out to you, Trey. And so I do want to say thank you for that. And to everybody else here, kudos to all of you, because again, I think I can speak for me personally. I am better for having been on this group for the last 2 years than I would have been had it not been there.
100%.
Great.
Yes, thank you, Trey.
It means a lot, guys. Man, I'm gonna cry. Okay, we gotta cut it off.
It's all in the feelings.
I'll say this. Here's the crazy thing. This whole thing started because I didn't want to have lunch alone. That's literally how the whole thing started. And now there are so many of you, not only just on this show, but those that didn't make it on this week and have been on in the past. And there's been a lot of people that have come and gone over the past 2 years. But we've built relationships that like are real. And when we get together, it feels like we've been friends forever. I mean, the first time that Raquel and John, we met them up in Lake Erie and went on a walk. It felt like we were friends going on a walk again, like we've always done. When we first saw each other in Vegas for the first time, it just felt so normal and natural. And there's something really special about this group and each and every one of you. And I'm so thankful to have you in my life, so much richer and better off because of that. So thank you for showing up every week. It's great. I love it.
Same.
All right. Listen, with that, we're going to send it off. And we got episode 95 next week. We're actually going to be right here in St. Louis. I'm not going anywhere this week, so it's kind of nice. I got some home. My wife, by the way, has a list of stuff. It's like 30 deep. And she's like, you need to take some days off so you can get this done. So I'm like, so that's what I'll be doing. And we'll be right back here next week for episode 95. The Word on the Street, powered by Beta Consulting Group, noon Central, 1 Eastern. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Happy
everybody.
Friday.
Happy
Thank you.
Friday.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.